Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala, amma ba'du. We're reading Al-Qira'at al-Rashida, reading number 21, called Tarnimatul Layl. Tarnimatul Layl. And previously we had Tarnimatul Walad, the Tarnima of the Walad. And we said it could be chant or singing or something along these lines. After looking here, it seems it can also be especially in this case, connected to the layl, the night. It could be a lullaby. And maybe that's how we'll translate it. The lullaby of the night. As you will see, from Ra, Noon, Mim, form 2, Tarnimatul Walad, the lullaby of the child. Oh, the lullaby of the night here. I'm sorry. And we only have 8 lines. And much of them is repetition, as what happens in lullabies. So it should go relatively quickly, bi'idhnillah. It says, Innal farasha na'ima fihi tanamu da'ima. Here it says inna, which is a particle of nasb. It means verily. And it makes the noun which follows it mansub. So it says innal farasha. Al-farash from farashin means the bed. The bed, al-firash. And na'ima is an adjective here. So it must be in agreement with al-firash, meaning both of them must be definite. Since al-firash is definite, has alif lam. So an-na'ima has alif lam. It's masculine and singular. And likewise, it is mansub. This alif here is for the purpose of the measure of the poem. As we said previously, poetry in Arabic has to fit a certain measure, and they will make certain adjustments to make that happen. So in al-firasha na'ima, na'ima comes from Noon, Ain, Mim. Noon, Ain, Mim here meaning soft. Soft. Right? Soft. It could also mean smooth. Right? Soft and smooth. But here, soft. In al-firasha na'ima, indeed the soft bed, as the adjective in Arabic comes after the noun, as opposed to English where the adjective comes before. The soft bed in Arabic, al-firasha na'ima. Fihi, in it, tanamu da'ima. Fihi, in it, tanamu, you sleep, from nama yanamu, tanamu, here, second person, masculine, singular. Da'iman, da'iman, from dal, waw, mim, meaning always or constantly, right? So in al-firasha na'ima fihi tanamu da'ima, indeed the soft bed, in it you sleep always, or you sleep constantly. نم يا حبيبي آمنا نم آمنا نم آمنا or نم آمنا نم آمنا, even though we'll get there inshallah. Sorry. Nem is the command verb. Nem is the command verb. So nama yanamu nem. When you want to tell someone, a male, to sleep, you say nem. To a female, you would say nami. You would just put a ya at the end. Nami as a command. Here we have nam, sleep. Ya habibi. Sleep, O my beloved. Aminan. Aminan from Hamza, Mim, Noon. That's the root. Here, this form, Aminan, meaning safely or peacefully. Aminan, here meaning peacefully. Safely or peacefully, right? Although peacefully is better. Nam ya habibi aminan. Sleep, O my beloved, peacefully. Nam amina. Or here, nam aminan. Here we can see the tanween. On this one here, we could see the tanween, although we wouldn't say it here. We would say nam ya habibi amina in order to keep with the measure of the poetry. Nam aminan. Nam amina. Right? Sleep peacefully. Sleep peacefully. So the first two lines. إن الفراش ناعمة فيه تنام دائما. Indeed, the soft bed, in it you sleep constantly. Nam ya habibi amina. Nam amina. Nam amina. Sleep, O my beloved, peacefully. Sleep peacefully. Sleep peacefully. You can see why we would change it from the word chant to a lullaby. And this is something you can read to your children until you memorize it. Raha an-naharu wahtajab ma'ahu al-ana'u wat-ta'ab. Raha meaning to go, to have left. Rah, it left, right? Raha an-naharu. Naharu is the fa'il. Nahar, the day. The day has left. Wahtajab, from ha, jim, bal, like the word hijab. Like the word hijab. Wahtajab, form 8 here, right? Form 8. Wahtajab means to vanish or disappear, like what happens when a woman puts on hijab. She disappears. Her skin and her flesh, it disappears. The color of her skin, right? The proper hijab, which is loose, the shape of her body disappears and vanishes. Wahtajab ma'ahu al-ana'u wat-ta'ab. Wahtajab, and it disappears or vanishes, ma'ahu, with it, meaning with the nahar, with the day which went. Al-ana'u wat-ta'ab. Al-ana'u comes from ayn, noon, ya, or alif maksura, if you're looking it up in the Hansware dictionary. And here it means the toils. The toils, meaning those things which keep you busy and frustrated and make you tired, like this, right? وَاحْتَجَبْ مَعَهُ الْأَنَاءُ وَالتَّعَبْ. وَالتَّعَبْ. Ta'ab means tiredness, right? Those things which make you tired here, right? Al-ana'u, those things which keep you busy and frustrated and on edge, like this. Wa-ta'ab, those things which tire you out. So he says, Raha naharu. Naharu is the fa'il, marfu'. Wahtajab. Wahtajab is really واحتجب, right? Because it's a past tense verb, right? So it's mabni ala fath. It's built on a fatha, right? However, for the rhyme, and since we're not pronouncing the fatha, and the fatha would take us off of the measure here that the author is writing in, then he just puts the sukoon. Same thing at the end. Ma'ahu al-ana'u wa ta'ab. This should be a dhamma. Al-ana' ahtajaba. It's the fa'il here. It is the one that became or vanished and disappeared. It's the one who did it, as well as a ta'ab. But because we're keeping with the poem and we're not going to pronounce it, then we're not going to write it. We have to remember that. So راح النهار واحتجب معه والعناء والتعب. The day has left and it covered along with it the toils and the tiredness, right? They were covered or concealed or vanished, right? Along with it. And the toils and the tiredness of the day vanished or disappeared ma'hu, with it. وَاللَّيْلُ بِالْأَمْنِ اقْتَرَبَ. وَاللَّيْلُ, and the night, بِالْأَمْنِ. Amni also from Ain Mim Noon with a different form, meaning safety. وَاللَّيْلُ بِالْأَمْنِ اقْتَرَبَ. Right? اقْتَرَبَ, but because of the scale of the poetry, and we're not pronouncing the fatha, we're going to not write it. Iqtarab, also from form 8 of qaf ra ba, meaning to get close. Wallaylu bil amni iqtarab, and the night with the safety has drawn close. Nam aminan, nam amina, right? Sleep peacefully, sleep peacefully. So we'll read these two lines. راح النهار واحتجب معه العناء والتعب والليل بالأمن اقترب نم آمنا نم آمنا. So the day has gone, and along with it the toils and the tiredness have vanished with it, and the night with safety has drawn close. Sleep peacefully. Nam aminan, nam amina. Sleep peacefully, sleep peacefully. باتت عصافير الغرد في حفظ مولانا الصمد. Batat from bata yabitu. Bata yabitu, meaning to spend the night. To spend the night. Right? Asafiru al-gharad. Asafir is the plural of usfur, which is a sparrow. Al-gharad is tweeting. The asfir al-gharad, right? The sparrows of tweeting, right, have spent the night, right? Asafir, the sparrows of gharad. And that's why Twitter, if you send a tweet, is called a tagreed, a tweet, right? Not that we recommend anyone waste their time there unless they doing beneficial stuff. Bata asafirul gharad, the sparrows of tweeting have spent the night. Fi hifdh al-mawlana as-samad. Fi hifdhi, in the protection. Fi, in, hifdh, the protection, majroor after fi. Mawlana, the protection of our Mawlana. Our Mawlana, meaning Allah Azza wa Jal, our master. and it's originally mawla with an alif maksura here, right? And what happens is, even though this is majroor because it's mudaf ilay, this alif here prevents the seeing of that. So we say Maulana. Fi hifdi Maulana. Right? The alif there prevents the kasra from showing. Fi hifdi Maulana. In the protection of our master, as-samad. From Allah's names and attributes. As-samad. Right? From Surah Al-Ikhlas. Right? Allahu Samad. باتت أصافير الغرد في حفظ مولانا الصمد. The sparrows of tweeting, or the tweeting sparrows, have spent the night in the protection of our master as-samad. Man laysa yaghfulu an ahad. Man who, meaning the one who. We're talking about Allah Azza wa Jal still. Man laysa yaghfulu. Laysa here being a particle of negation. Yaghfulu coming from ghain fa la lam, meaning to be forgetful or neglectful. Right? Laysa yaghfulu an ahad. He doesn't forget an about anyone. Ahad about one, but here about anyone. Right? And it would be ahadin, but because of after an half, but however, because of the scale, then we don't write it. We just stop. We're not going to pronounce it, so we don't write it. Man laysa yaghfulu an ahad, the one who doesn't forget, or he's not heedless about anyone. Nam fi himahu amina. Nam here, sleep. Fi hima. Himahu is hima, meaning protection, similar to hifd. Right? Hima is just basically another word for hifd, his protection. Hima, but when I add this pronoun, my alif maksura that I wrote up here, we write it upright. Right? And because of it, we're not able to see the kasra for it being majroor, because of this alif maksura. Right? For those following the Nahu al-Wadih, it would be a noun which is called ismu al-maqsur. It has an alif at the end. So nam fi himahu aminan. Sleep in his protection peacefully. If we read those two lines, batat asafirul gharad fi hifdhi maulana as-samad. The sparrows of tweeting, or the tweeting sparrows, have spent the night in the protection of their Lord, in the protection of their master, as-samad. Right? Because now they're tweeting. It's the morning, it's the nighttime, right? Men laysa yaghfulu an ahad, the one who does not, or is not heedless about anyone. Nam fi himahu amina. Sleep in his protection peacefully. Nam aminan hatta sahar. Sleep peacefully. Hatta, until as-sahar. Right? Should be a sukoon there. As-sahar is dawn, from sin ha ra, like suhoor, like the time of suhoor, when you eat that breakfast before you break fast. That's that time. That's why it's called that. Sahar is called suhoor. The same way you have al-isha for salat al-isha. You have al-asha with a fatha on the ayn. Al-asha is dinner, because it comes at the time of isha. Comes at night. So as-suhoor comes at the time of sahar. Right? Nam aminan hatta sahar. Sleep peacefully until the dawn. Min kulli daymin o qadar. Sleep peacefully, right? min kulli, from every daim. Every daim, which we would look up like it's written, every daim means injustice or wrongdoing or harm, right? From any injustices, any wrongs, any harms. Sleep peacefully from any wrongs or harms. O qadar. O means or, and qadar means grief. Qadar means grief. Right? Nam aminan hatta sahar. Sleep peacefully until the dawn. Min kulli daymin o qadar. From every harm. I don't know why it's not letting me erase. One second. From every harm or grief. Nam fihi ma bari al bashar. Nam fi himahu amina. Nam, sleep. Fi hima, sleep in the protection. And again, after fi, it's majroor, but because of this alif maksura, we cannot see the sign of jar. So this is called an ismu maksur, and we're not able to see it. The dhamma or the kasra here would be considered implied or muqaddara. Nam fi hima bari, like Allah is al-bari'u, right? Bari'ul bashar or bari al-bashar, and he didn't put the hamza there due to the measure of the poetry. Bari is the creator, basically. It's the similar to al-khaliq. Al-bari is similar to al-khaliq, the creator, the fashioner, the one who fashions, meaning the one who created. Al-bashar is mankind. Al-bashar, right? Who created man or created mankind, like insan. Al-bashar should be majroor, and it is majroor, but because of the poetry, because it's mudaf ilayh, but because of the poetry, and we're not pronouncing the kasra, we don't write it, and therefore we're not pronouncing it, and we're not going to write it. And they write a sukoon there to keep you from pronouncing it, so that you will keep the measure of the poetry. Nam fi himahu aminan, sleep in his protection peacefully. So we'll read these two and then we'll read all 8 inshallah. Nam aminan hatta sahar, sleep peacefully until dawn. Min kulli daymin o qadar, from every harm or every wrong and injustice, o qadar, or grief. Nam fihi ma bari al bashar, sleep in the protection of the creator of mankind. Nam fi himahu amina, sleep in his protection peacefully. So let's read inshallah ta'ala the whole thing and we'll be done. This is an easy lesson for us, walillahi alhamd. Inna al-firasha na'ima fihi tanamu da'ima. Verily the soft bed, in it you sleep always or constantly. Nam ya habibi aminan, sleep O my beloved peacefully. Nam aminan, nam amina, sleep peacefully, sleep peacefully. Rahan naharu wahtajab, ma'ahu al-ana'u wat-ta'ab. The day has gone and the toils and the tiredness have vanished along with it. وَاللَّيْلُ بِالْأَمْنِ اقْتَرَبَ, and the night with safety has drawn close. Nam aminan, nam amina, sleep peacefully, sleep peacefully. باتت أصافير الغرد في حفظ مولانا الصمد. The sparrows of tweeting have spent the night in the protection of their master as-Samad. Man laysa yaghfulu an ahad, the one who doesn't or is not heedless, he's not forgetful about anyone. Nam fi himahu amina, sleep in his protection peacefully. Nam aminan hatta sahar, sleep peacefully until the dawn. Min kulli daymin aw kadar, from every wrong or grief. Nam fi hima bari al-bashar, sleep in the protection of the creator of mankind. Nam fi himahu amina, sleep in his protection peacefully. So this tarnima here, whereas previously we translated as the chant of the boy, right? Maybe it's the lullaby, right? Maybe it could be translated in different ways in different circumstances, but for here we wouldn't say the chant of the night. Rather, we would make it more according to what we have read, which is the lullaby of the night. And for you mothers or fathers, after reciting upon your children, after reciting Ayatul Kursi, after reciting the last two ayat from Surah Al-Baqarah, after reciting Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun, after reciting Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Qul A'udhu Bi Rabbil Falaq, Qul A'udhu Bi Rabbin Nas, and spitting in your hands and wiping on your young children, those who are it's appropriate to sing something like this to, right? Then after maybe reciting Surah Al-Mulk and making the different adhkar of the night, if the child is still awake and you want to rock them to sleep, then you could sing this tarnimatul layl to them, this lullaby of the night. And Allah knows best. If there's any comments or questions or concerns, then you can contact me in the bottom page. And if you need a direct contact, then on the About page on our YouTube channel, you can find the contact email. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.